Hello everybody, welcome back to the Helix. Today we've got more Fate Reforged spoilers, and it's missed a couple days of Helix, so let's get started. Alesha, who smiles at death, is one of the most interesting cards we've had in a while. So for 3 mana, it's a first striker, 3/2, that when it attacks, you get to pay 2 in order to revive a 2 or less costing creature back from the graveyard and have it tapped and attacking. So while the card probably has some great interactions throughout the set, I just really like how warriors are just getting some fantastic cards that really meld together in ways that really give them a lot of value throughout. Sigurd the Golden Thing is my favorite design of the set. So it's a delving creature that's a 4/5, starting at 6 mana, but it's not usually going to be paid for that. So for 4 mana, his ability allows you to take the top 2 cards of your deck, put them in the graveyard, and then your opponent chooses a non-land card in your graveyard, and you get to add that card to your hand. The card in the set I can compare this closest to is probably Shaman of the Great Hunt. Now, while this doesn't put immediate pressure on your opponent, it still has a fine ability, and I really think that you're going to get a lot of value off of it, and for its colors, I think it's doing exactly what you want it to do. Master of the Unseen is another card fusing Morph and Manifest together in one ability. So, Morph and Manifest flipping over allow you to gain life for each creature you control. So what this means is that you're not losing quite as much tempo by taking the time to flip those cards. So its other ability, where you really get a lot of the value, is you get to manifest a card from the top of your deck for 4 mana. This is just a way that you can easily just get a free creature every turn, and then sometimes you can get even more value off that creature. So while the card itself seems pretty slow, the value it gets you, and maybe the little bit of time, might be enough where it's worth it. Warden of the First Tree is very reminiscent of Figure of Destiny. Figure of Destiny had an activated ability, 3 in fact, that allowed you to change its type and give itself a boost. So Warden of the First Tree has an ability that makes it into a human warrior and turns it into a 3/3 for 2 mana. Then for 4 mana you can turn it into a spirit that has lifelink and trample, and then from there you can give that spirit 5 counters. However, Fruit of the First Tree is quite a bit more unique. Fruit allows you to draw cards and gain life equal to the dead creature's toughness. This card seems impressive to me, but I might be a little biased as I'm just trying to make Wall of Mulch a good card in Standard. Neutralizing Blast is a very efficient but narrow counterspell, only allowing you to counter multicolored spells. I wouldn't expect to see any of these outside of maybe blue-black for sideboard. Wild Slash is another great way to answer the question, how do we get from Bolt, which is too good, to Shock, which is too bad? So for 1 mana, both these spells are doing damage. 2 being the Shock, and 3 being the Bolt. And 1 is just too efficient and inefficient. And Wild Slash might just be the middle ground. Mardu Woe Reaper is another great warrior for the Mardu deck. Now, Woe Reaper allows you to take a creature from your opponent's graveyard and remove it from play and gain a life each time a creature you control enters the battlefield, in particularly a warrior creature, reinforcing the warrior theme while also taking some of the sting out of Sidisi. Switching gears completely to limited, Mardu Scout is my favorite dash card so far. So as a 3/1 for 2 that can dash for the same cost, you're really getting great value out of it as you just get in there for damage when you can. And when you're not, this guy can usually provide some excellent board presence as he can usually trade up. Warflare is another great 1-turn anthem. I really like this one because it can also be very defensive as you can plus your whole team and untap before blockers. The limited card I'm most excited to play with though is Harsh Subsistence. Harsh Subsistence allows you to really break the morph wars. So when you and your opponent are trading life, you can gain that life back and kill their best morph. And it's cards like this that really show me how much Concentrator Care Draft is going to shift come this new set. The last card I want to talk about today is Humble Defector. So for 2 mana is a 2/1 that lets you tap it, draw 2 cards, and then give your opponent control of it. So to me, you get 2 free cards out of it, and then you have to find a way to kill it before your opponent gets any value out of it themselves. So, that's Fate Reforged so far this week. I hope you guys enjoyed, and as always, Jesus loves you. Do you ever want more Helix? Well, come check us out at Lightning Helix 101 on Vine.